Silence, peace in the room. Good evening again. We apologize for the inconvenience. There was a network problem, but we are ready to go back. We stopped where the gentleman on our left, the SPF gentleman, was introducing his manifesto. So we'll just start from the manifesto beginning because we're not quite sure where the internet cut off for everyone. So yes, please start. Please start us off. Hello?
As I was saying, our manifesto is guided by the 3 pillars under the Student Patriotic Front, which are entrepreneurship, good governance, and academic excellence. As the incoming Minister of Sports, I plan on doing the following. Initiating that Muituti grounds should be under supervision of the committee clubs. That is, the Muituti grounds shall be governed by the UB and the SRC, so as when the grounds are booked or used, money is paid, which a certain percentage is also paid to the SRC as in to improve the entrepreneurship part. Another point is implementation of the Adopt a Sports Club and a Sport Code initiative. That is, as the incoming Minister of Sports, I plan on working to find certain sponsors for each and every sporting code that is Adopt a Sport Code. So that each and every sport is recognized in the university. The third point is hosting and having sport fund days per sporting code. That one is straight and clear. So each sporting code shall have a special day, as in if there is netball, it should have a certain day in the calendar which it is taken part in. The other point is using UB Sports Club as an advertising tool. Certain companies and stakeholders can also use the UB sporting clubs as the sporting code. That is, if one of the Eagles in school, FNB one of the Eagles to advertise their products, and in turn, FNB will sponsor Eagles. Another point is providing officiating training to UB students through cooperation with BFA and other sporting code association. During those periods, it's UBA provided a short-term course. We are going to implement that. It also provides courses that include officiating training for different sporting activities. The other point is international tournaments and benchmarking to promote new sporting codes. So we are going to host international events in different times where they are going to be hosted, and we are going to take part in benchmarking. That is, take trips and go to other countries to explore and get to learn those new sporting codes that are not yet initiated in the University of Botswana, so that we bring them to the university and teach them to the students board. Another term is encouraging gaming to promote diversity among sporting codes and allow free flow of creativity. As we know, not everyone is hands-on sports. Some students are well gifted in coding and developing. So we are going to give them a chance to diversify, and we are going to find markets for those games and setting apps that they are going to develop. Another point is UB sports games to showcase sporting skills and talents of UB students. So we are going to make a UB sports independent gore emise go nna hostiwa ke different stakeholders, emise go nna dependent on other associations. The other point is, as reads causes are on you'll be most of them had delayed. We know many students but probably busy and they tend to take part in sports at night. We are going to make sure that those courses are fully well occupied. It's for them to take part in sports any time of the day. The other point is sports should be used for entrepreneurship. That is quite a how we tweet the Otika party more disposing Loena on the paid Ghana. There should be some revenue you are gaining from that. Koroska Beregala Mahala, and you should be appreciated and well known. Go open you and allowed to take part in sports. Go Mahasin, I'll say. Those were my manifesto pointers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll move on to the next candidate.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm congratulations once again. My name is Quinton Mopevitsi. It's all like I said previously. So my manifesto pointers goes like this. So my manifesto pointers goes like this. 1. Using sport as a tool of outreach for students. That is to say, holding intramural competitions and tournaments to spot talents among individuals so that they channel the same energy and attention to what they do best, thus enhancing opportunities of excelling on the talent at hand. Pointer number 2, introduction of cultural festivals within the university to promote equality and diversity. The other benefit of these cultural festivals may be to generate businesses, small businesses to entrepreneurs within the university. Not only that, the other benefit of this cultural festivals will be to educational purposes. 2, ensuring proper and efficient communication between the student and the council. Ensuring proper and efficient communication between the student body and the council. The aim is to establish a sport calendar with recurring and diverse events to notify the students' body about the pre-planned ministerial activities. Pointer number 4 is related to the gym. Advocate for reduction of gym prices. We have seen earlier the gym price being increased from 50 pula to 125 pula, which resulted in a 150% increment, of which it is not at all comprehensible. So I, as the incoming Minister of Sports, say it should be brought to 50 pula or it should be reduced so that students are able to pay for the gym. By Article 15, my obligation is to make sure all sporting equipments are availed to students and are in good working conditions. Gym equipment, I do know advocate for gym instructors, just like you want to go swimming, you want to learn the swimming instructor. Instructor will look gymming in anything. The last pointer, ensure and portray maximum level of transparency in conduction of sports activities. That can be done by being accountable recording and taking responsibility of actions and decisions, actively engaging with the student body and seeking feedback and suggestions, as I strongly believe that the role of the sports minister is not only to implement my own ideas, but rather improve the interest and aspirations of students. Thank you.
Thank you.
You take a manifesto. Firstly, I'm going to advocate for sports inclusivity and accessibility. How do we have sports inclusivity and accessibility? Comrades, we are going to have a nature. Can I go retire it? I rather what I was telling you manifesto. Yeah, no. Let's go and always keep us in. Yeah, accessibility. You got the facility. I want Kore, Camus, Eremutu Amadukolo, Avata, Kotoa, Abuka Stadium, Mokana, Abuka, in Sepala, Semovata, or sports activities also. Evelore in a direct entry to the Minister of Sports. In the Nayan or Keba Tusa, Bukela to the roads. Eska Nawa Rosumula, our Ayako, the Director of Sports. Can I have campus services? Aro Wabo Buka Neta. In the street, the Minister of Secretary General, the Secretary General, Piroye, like the Secretary General, Abu Gelaba, Barit Labu, the Minister of Sports, Abu Gelaba, Nabai, Gaba the sporting activities, Abu Gile, DV. Young Wahapera will go. Accessibility around the website catalog. We are going to introduce a website catalog. Remember, we are a transforming university. Ratarajwa from an analog situation to a digital one. You know, we look at the high performance organization. Rawona le catalog we do our browser through the internet. Can our browser through the website? Yeah, you be. I want to sporting course. Take by a demo UB. Let the date tell it what has I UB, what's a Mikiwa in Jalo, each and every semester. We tell that Tolananta and Malaka is a Bible or Hochara, how I have to Konali. Young Harata Nagoya inclusivity. The DSS students can students with disabilities. Rawona lady activity, tell over. Individual activity, tell goal sport. Goal ball sport, game over. Eta way on same question one on disability. One I know on disability. I want to go one over Hana disability. Eta will quality game over it. Eta will include a mixed people, but over get bad disability, never has a bad disability, trying to bridge the gap in between them. Young what happen are the international students. We are going to bring closer the international students. How? Raja. The international students, however, than the Vice Chancellor's Cup, the outgoing minister, one and about the spotted and two for them to register. Now, about Urusa, the spotted, that one have more than 4. For the international students, the Bakono one and the Tuna, Bakono, what is the team is out, the team is the Lord. That's our more money game into it, 1,000. Yano, comrade, Ratare, Aratawata, we are manifesto, workers I to Oregon, Hatfield. Secondly, I'm going to expand sports opportunities beyond campus. Expanding sports opportunities beyond campus. We are going to have intervarsity games. Intervarsity games, how there was a policy or in a banner to the you know, one I miss the intervarsity games. Kamabaka, I never and yeah, no, Rawa Toros, we are going to revive them. Those intervarsity games, we are going to revive them. Ravatawana will do one Madikulu. Akona wa Tamega, the game, Conde, Botswana. As a mega university, over dinner level Talano, Le University of Botswana. The University of Chanayaka, the University of Zambia, University of Mozambique, Liberal University of Cape Town. So we are going to have short courses. These short courses, they are the coaching and officiating programs. Hagiri anaga wakarawa. Kibata wana mwitu amarikolo. Kamoso. Analyst certificate. Say BFA accredited. kana BNSC accredited re bua ka certificate se leng gore moithuti wa madikolo ka mosa ga a tloga a na le sone a bona go applyela ko Botswana Premier League e le coach a bona go applyela ko Botswana Premier League e le match officiator a bona go thusa a bona go iponela letseno mo bona ba ithuti re na le go mo go student empowerment and inclusivity ke o se kano se re ya manga sone ngwao ke se kana se re gore re batla gore moithuti mongwe le mongwe e re ha ka tswa mo madikolo a tswe a na le certificate se se rileng e se certificate se leng gore e tla be e se a sekolo University of Botswana se ha la mela mo madikolo rata comrades re tshwaretse ya se se latela we read se se latela we are going to introduce certification for sports participation o ka etsa go gongwe e le ya mme ga ya nna ya a ke go tlhalosetse. We are going to mobilize for campus leagues. How to mobilize campus leagues? Mobilize the sponsorship. The sponsorship is trying to go FNB. I can't want to order now. How I know Polasan that you go to the week Tatanka hell. Correct. Sponsor Harata go FNB. If the Mago like Narata Warata will run a private hospital. There are private hospital. Raleba Naba came up by 2000 from different sporting courses. Now we're convocant. Wherever I read, yeah, I got 2000 down. Recabula le Tolan, la Rona, Hareta Hall, Narata Hoga by the Tusu. Legare Hai, Hareta Hall, a subscriber, Mogoboy. When you quite do my Mosaka, Sarata 1000 as the sporting course. But in the end, Harry hosted the game. Bata have 3 medication. Bare Zidila, Bare Atolos, Baina Warren. The muscle is out. They never took a commercial house, none of our mobile chancellors Kabiana get obligation. Over one of our journalists and the old men, and I will wait the candidates. Second one, we are going to collaborate with sports science students. Sports science students, give I to develop or really handy happen. Rabbi Deva, more medical. By Tudiba, at our Taraba ultimate, how on Diran Tiroelo or a lie, Dira. Only cousin Zalo. Tiroeo, it a very Tiroeo, but our bata, Harrow, late Vice Chancellor's Cup. It a well one, our best predictions, but I what about predict that they match it, but I better elabone by Tudiba, but about had the analysis that they match, but exercise as a worry. Ito ya woni ke yone gape re bitsa re student empowerment me ya no ka ke ne ke setse ke gona nkole a go ke go bisetse go we raise really introducing certification for sports participation certificate this a be ta ise certificate se re thola re di bona se ta se kwa dile ka pena ya nya ta be le certificate se le gore moithuti o gona go tsoga ka moso aya kwa te ga school what I say na le boleng ha ke batla go bona moithuti wa madikolo a ta netswe medal he la be ke botsa gore ke medal wa consent kana ke wa e nya na go e tata impitela ma ke helele ya bo helo we re ya bo helo.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We have heard the manifestos from each of the incoming candidates. We have heard the manifestos from each of the incoming candidates. Thank you. We have a few questions for you. My first question is directed to all 3 possible candidates. And it's a very simple question. And my question is, are you involved in sports or do you have a sports background? Yes or no? This is a simple yes or no question, ladies.
It's a yes. It's a yes. It's a yes. Yes.
What sports have you been involved in? Start.
What's just the name?
Just the name, no identifiers, just the name, and whether it was in the University of Botswana or not.
Football.
Well, I was once the Minister of Sports. I cannot go now, so
I go again the country.
Yes, just having a little bit meeting. So, I will be participating in UB marathons for more than 10 years consecutively. I'm an athlete by heart.
Okay, thank you for that. We're going to be asking you a few questions from each of us, either to each of you individually or as a group. Please take 2 minutes to answer, no more than 2 minutes for each question. So the first one from my side, metal the fact is prices have increased, gym prices have increased, we've been saying, and we see no improvement in gym equipment. Well, the university will agree if any of you get into, when either any of you get into a seat, if the university decides that no, we want to decrease the price from 125, I believe it's 125, 250 or whatever price it is, what do you intend to do with that? How do you intend to help us further? Are we fixing the equipment? What are we doing? What is your, let's start from.
So, as an incoming minister, as of when that case takes place, so we shall take part in making agreements with other gyms outside of the university as of to subsidize gym fees for students so that they can go to those specific gyms. Thank you.
Okay. Can I get the question again?
Irregardless of the price increment from 50 pula 2-3 years ago to 125 and no better equipment per se, what do you intend to do about it?
Okay, tla ke somolle pele ka ya tlhwatlhwa. Ke buile gore price o okediso from 50 pula to 125. So that is a 150% increment. I ke bone go na le lebaka lepe le le ka tlhalosang gore why price e okediwa ka tlhwatlhwa e kana kana. If lebaka ga teng e le gore allowance e okediwa from 1.3 to 1.6 to 1.9. Allowance e okediwa ka 18.2%. Why the gym price e okediwa ka tlhwatlhwa e kana? If there was to be an increment, why no so okediwe ka tlhwatlhwa e le kana le allowance e okediwang ka yona?
Target nye mo ka le mo wa me ha mo dinakong raiso go bodo tsele dino do okediwe go no go sa okediwe without looking at the statistics. The statistics di ne di supa gore the gym equipment yone ka bo yone hela ya tura out se re shumolela gore ya tura. So ga o lela o re gym equipment ga iyo o batla re reke ka eng ndo tse ka gore batla madi ona gore re kgone go rekela gym equipment ya no ra ho ira ja o mono wa ba ithuti ra ho ira ja ra ho rile ra ho kopa di sponsor ro di kgone go re thusa ga re na le gym equipment ya ra ho kopa di gym tse re tshwana ya ka project gym gore ba ithuti ba kgone gore ba kgone go dirisa membership card ya bone ko project gym e collaboration gore re kgone go bona the gym equipment e le gore ba ithuti ba e ba.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately we cannot allow that. My second question is How do you plan on introducing or enhancing athlete rehabilitation programs for injured athletes? How do you plan on introducing or enhancing athlete rehabilitation programs for injured athletes?
How do we plan to enhance, you say to enhance rehabilitation what?
Programs.
Yo, rehabilitation programs.
Bagaetso, kana go ha mo sports le tshwanetse re le tlhaloganye gore go na le dilo tse e leng gore di a dirwa wa bona re na le rehabilitation mo sports mo ministering one wa sports yo ga ke itse gongwe ga le ise le rutwa le ka one gongwe ke le bema di nako gore e teng tiro eo ga le gore le ha e le teng tota ga le gore ga o itse e teng yone go gore hela gore ga wa re se go mo tile mo sa re se wa bona e teng.
Okay, bara chala ja ka bua. Rehabilitation le tla e teng mo sekolong. E teng mo sekolong. E teng mo sekolong ya bereka. Ai ka bana le
Ladies and gentlemen, focus. Thank you.
So rehabilitation. Now I believe worry. As we had stated already, each and every sporting coach is a sponsor. That certain sponsor is the very same thing that has to cater for the bill and everything that has to cover the rehabilitation cost and the rehabilitation. Yeah, that's sport personnel. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, my next question. How do you plan to engage external sponsors or establish partnerships with professional sports teams and organizations to enhance student sporting opportunities? 2 minutes to each. Repeat the question. How do you plan to engage external sponsors and establish partnerships with professional sports teams and organizations to enhance student sporting opportunities? How do you plan for AHA Medikolo in terms of sport? How do you plan to engage those external outside people?
So, as the Minister of Sports, so each and every sport has to have that very certain sponsor. So, there shall be a certain time when applications shall be open for certain sponsors to adopt those certain sporting codes. And another thing is, if there is Eagles Sporting Club, Mo UB, and Wanale Township Rollers, we have to work to make sure that Township Rollers works hand in hand to improve and also so if one of the township rollers has to make sure that law a host the championship I get it. Have any mutual agreement. Have any mutual agreement.
Please don't
So-
answer to them. Don't listen
There
to
shall
them.
be those kind of championships, gonna the league in which those teams that will be part those external teams. That chance to interact and have that chance in a competitive teams in with equal.
Njengoba ngiwile mu manifesto point one. Ngiwile wona. As the incoming Minister of Sports, is to hold the sport intramural sport within the University of Botswana. How holo who sport the talent is very important. No worry, read of this. External sponsors. During those competitions that are already then come Minister of Sports, they can be invited.
How do you plan, as an incoming minister, how do you plan to engage external sponsors or establish partnerships with professional sports teams and organizations to enhance student sporting opportunities?
I know you want that doesn't the country. We know we're going to mobilize sponsors for the campus again for the campus leagues. Can we get Harosabore? The sponsor at the Becky had example like a private hospital. Your name had as a Harona. You will know Reta Naleba Nabaleka Baleta Hogati Rajana Molo Lona Leon La Wareha medication Wabanaliana cannot be treatment upon the era Harus Lady Lena Leta Leva Sidila Camoleta Wum Leva Silla Capo. What must come Marta Warana 2000. Banaba, Bawana airtime, 100 bullet, each one of them 100 bullet from you every month. Lona let must come. Even Lere High, who might not work in as a command, Zeno Karan, Lere High, the bus, Zeno Narana, what have a Rabodi, query sporting activities, Zeno gets our.
Facilities in the university, such as the pool and the UB Stadium, particularly the field and the track, are considered not to be up to competition standards. What is your plan for improving such, especially considering that the university rents out these facilities to outside entities? The facilities of the university, including but not limited to the pool and the UB tracks and field, they are not up to competition standard. What is your plan for improving them?
Harana mo the development budget. Our Gosum Lena Harana mo the development budget. At this point, the sports, this is the young one, they college university from 6 million to 500,000 at this point. Oh, Mehel, Harana mo the way my hello, Raholata. The sponsor, this one I go UNISA, UNA. Ramo ba kopa hore re kopa hore re thuswe jana le re le ba ithuti ba madikolo bona le go mo go teng plan. We are going to sit down and do a plan re ba bolla gore re na le se re kopa le ka re thusa jana le jana so that they can help us. Wa bona ga ke itse gore a o khone go mputa ke go arabile sen.
Re utlwa Botswana lona. So, se re ka se dirang ke le minister yo tla go matsena wa sports. It's like we are the University of Botswana. University of Botswana e anda puso ya rona ya e tla be tsena. So, se re ka se dirang ke gore re ise dilelo tsa rona go bone. Re ba tsenye pressure gore kana re lela ka se mabala a rona ga a siamela baithuti gore ba ka tshamekela go le tse dingwe fela jalo gore ba tle ba re thuse ka madi a go tokagatsa le one mabala le tse dingwe fela jalo.
To answer to that, well, you had stated, don't worry, I got it. Those sporting facilities, they are rented out. So we are going to implement that on Madi in cooperation with the clubs committee. On Madi, which is gained from renting out those sporting facilities. And the very same money to maintain those facilities. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is to the candidate for SPF. What specific strategies do you have in place to support participation in physical well-being, especially those who are typically not involved in sports? What specific strategies do you have in place to support sport participation and physical well-being among athletes, especially those who are typically not involved in sports? Okay, can you change your language in under 2 seconds? What specific strategies? What specific strategies do you have in place to support sport participation and physical well-being among athletes, especially with those who are not typically involved in sports?
Sports is not all about physically engaged. So I had stated already, we are going to encourage diversity among sporting codes, and you don't worry, those students, by don't worry, they have the ability to develop games. They should be given that free flow of creativity and marketing. The other thing is, we have those students, by the way, they are not hands-on to those street sports. We are going to also include those sports like ball chess. Make sure we tell chess refresh. And the other thing, during sports days, we are going to make sure certain prizes which are won, certain prizes which are given out for those best participants, so that more people end up taking part in those sports and a chance actively included. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we move? Okay. This question is to the gentleman YUBCD. Okay. How will you ensure that sports and physical activities are inclusive for all students, that is, those with disabilities, females or women, and international students?
Repeat the question.
How will you ensure that sports and physical activities are inclusive to all students, that is, including those with disabilities, women, and international students?
Hey, inclusivity. Ke buile mo manifesto pointana ya nna. Di metshameko e ke tla be ke diragatsa mo madikolo. E tla be le general activities involved, different sporting activities involved, both female, male, and even those with disabilities. The reason why more madikolo we shall bana ba madikolo ba sa engage mo sports mo university, it is because there are bana le talent tse le gona ga di lemogiwe mo madikolo. ga ba tshameke bolo, ga ba tshameke basketball, they are just there. Ba tshameka bo chess, the speed cube, like the Rubik's cube, what one. Ke sport go. Rare, re di lemoge di tala go di tshwana le tseo. Re ba e tshono ya gore le bone ba tla ba itshube bo thata. Re godise di tala tsa go tshwana le tsone tseo.
Thank you. I yes or no, does what are really like unisex sports in a way? Okay. This question, what are your plans to ensure that the university's teams perform well in national or regional competitions? And how will you support these athletes in balancing the academics and sporting commitments?
Can you kindly repeat the first part?
The first part. What are your plans to ensure that the university's teams, that's the sporting teams, perform well in national or regional competitions?
These teams, they want proper training each and every time. They want training, of which is going to be training. They are professionals. Baba eating or one hour or a training or a perform. You have two questions about.
How will you support athletes in balancing the academics and the sporting commitments?
How will I support athletics in balancing the sports and academics? Baga so le tshwantse gore le le mo gore go haratetsa school. Mehel le haratetsa school ya. Gona le ha e gore we want to express ourselves. Again, yang moithuti yo ta bong a tshwere do tsa di sports. What are we able to do? What about the idea alone? Proper guidance. Ya gore o tshwantse gore a itse gore ask up a lebala gore ona le dithuto tseno gore he's here to beg a degree. Again, but our bana le training eno gore e tawe e nna both academics le go di sportsing. It's ga gore we are only going to rely more sportsing hela. Re tawe re tsere na le go mo the edu sports. E le gore ke educational sports activities. E le gore re tawe di ba rutuntsha ka education e wa intsele go mo gore ke ga sports ka peka.
Thank you. Dr. Paramita for a second.
Some sort of, not an outstation, but some sort of discourse. The only way GS26 can join the debate is if these three agree. It's their discretion. Oh wait, it's not our discretion as the UPSS.
The decision was taken.
So the decision, no, it was taken an initiative. So we went.
Sorry, please let her speak.
Wait. The decision was made.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us please be respectful of each other. We are allowing the candidates. We are allowing the candidates to make the decision whether they allow
the candidates discretion. Do you want him or not?
No, but later. Comrade. Matari chara la karoba.
Okay, order please, order. Hello, hi.
I'm starting to question the credibility of this. First of all, no, the whole of
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not,
We're gonna continue this debate.
You are disturbing.
You are disturbing
I
us.
asked a question like Karabila Kaine.
No.
Let's move on.
You are
Please let us try to remain respectful, else you will be asked to step out.
Step out.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you very much.
We're moving on with our debate. We're not against elections. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay. We apologize for muting you for a moment there. Maybe please get questions from the audience, either from social media, but we'll keep on checking our socials. Maybe please get 2 from each student movement. 2 from each. Please keep it very brief.
First come, first serve. So what should I like that? The best 52, I guess. They raise first, they go.
Dumelang baithuti ba madikolo, dumelang candidates. Botswana ke tebe ke dibitse Nthopheng wa SPF Motanahali. You kept on reiterating gore you are going to advocate for sports committees. I don't know if you are aware, but the article that establishes your ministry in the SRC constitution, it has already established those committees. So how can you advocate for something that is already in existence? Sabobedi, Onobuaka Kanya gore you are going to benchmark internationally, which is a welcome initiative. Mene ke batla go botsa gone gore mo di sports code ntse ntse re hadiyo mo Botswana, and I suppose we do not have even the facilities to have those sporting codes. How are you going to make sure gore ha re sona le benchmark like USA go le tatisa mo Botswana? Where are you going to get the facilities? Ka budget efe? Thank you so much.
Be mobile. Okay. So
My question is,
you have my
Who is Roman leader? What's up with your So
can I have a mic?
Sometimes it's a manifesto. Sometimes it's a vote.
My question is directed to right terminator. You are coming up with a website. But today will be able to access a catalog. But today will be able to access all the sports. Perhaps you can highlight this to the student body. What is the process involved, and which stakeholders will you engage in the process of coming up with that website?
Right tools.
And also involve how will those stakeholders be compensated? Thank you.
Yeah, no, put
How would you put it? How would you put it? How would you put it? It was quite clear.
It was quite Yeah, it was quiet.
You are disturbing.
Can I proceed to ask?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations for delivering such wonderful pieces for the two movements which are present there. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I need to ask a few questions, particularly to this gentleman in blue, Reola. To say, Mr. Ola, you have a history rather of being favored to people, or rather to please people, to a point whereby you even exclude other students from obtaining or accessing information in WhatsApp groups. You have a history of also favoritism as evident in you removing some students from the groups that you manage as an RA. So my question then becomes to you want to then be given to a higher office, which is a minister position, and a position that you have to then take care of all the students in the university, despite of their political movements, in spite of their sexual orientation, whatever difference they might have with you. What guarantee do we then have that you'll be able to serve the interests of the student body in the University of Botswana without prejudice and without favoritism? The second question then is also addressed to you again, Mr. Terrence, to say, you have been in leadership roles for a very long time in the University of Botswana, and you now come and tell us that you're going to be empowering students in the University of Botswana. Maybe you can give us a track record of, a few of those people that you've empowered through the various leadership positions that you have held before. Thank you, sir. Right?
So I'm going to address the first question. Mr. Vincent Howard, I didn't say I'm going to advocate for clubs committee. I said I'm going to advocate for partnership with the clubs committees. IUB, really SRC. Another question. Hanya benchmarking we are going to get those funds from through those clubs committees, and also the certain sponsors and stakeholders thank you.
Bona, tagi sumule kawa skipa se sorolwana, mona skipa sa go se ha so go tshwana. Ya no, re tsa motho ba no sambore. Who will the guy empowerment? I've empowered a lot of students. Maybe who have said about the government, and I believe so because you have been a dictator in your leadership. So some power policy ministry. Ya no, wena, I go la tele wena. Hagi tora ko kom marikolo kwa no te zokata ko tra degree kana mi hagi tora fo mo ke bela na module wa ICT o tudi fora lo go mo ding ICT ki wile ka website catalog e ta le catalog ye tshwana le library catalog lo go access ke bela lo site ka access wa ka site e ta bo e na le o scanner ICT ka go bolela ya no na le na ba ha ona le lina o ta bitso so se dira ka la go re sport se ta bo se ta bo sena le catalog e le gore ke ayo e ta be era le di tse ta o di specify gore Botswana e ta be le mo sekolong kana go ya gore ke se ke ne ke se thalo
Hello, order. Para gala to say make kana kina le what's the word? That's allowance for the government how you feel about authority. Yes, the authority. So yes, get to sit. Okay, we have I don't know
Yeah, serving the interest of the student body regardless of political affiliations.
Sorry?
Gata ga ke araba potso. Ba mpha mic kantle le train wa.
Gata ga ke araba potso. Le sono re tlhaloganya gore I'm not favored anyone. I'm someone who is neutral by heart. But how I'll have to show you my true colors. Yeah, I'm going to tell the students. Hela jaaka mo etelele pele mo le mo aka se ba mo dithuto mo le mo. Ya no ga ke itse gore a le na le ba seba ya gongwe ene go ba seba ka ba seba ka teng which it is in play like we say right now.
Len tshari shoka matsebeng ka. Ga tlima tsebe ya tlima ga leta.
Okay. Okay. I'll lay one or two questions from the socials. Okay.
Thank you.
This is a question to Rawa Mono. Para my affiliation ni atla ba aya go kae go go wena kana ke ra one a di club tse o reng o tla bo di organize.
My dear affiliation, tlhaloganya gore Minister wa Sport ha tshware club. My dear affiliation, ke madi a tshwara ke the Secretary General. What is sporting? Regularly sports activities.
This question, varsity games, but don't speak to the games within the campus itself. Additionally, in terms of resource mobilization, who will finance these activities? So, I assume like a UBCD.
Okay. I am going to open manifesto mami ki buaka international sporting network. We know kana koma mo ya yele sa ko. Intramural competitions. The competitions say no one. Ja wo le mo the University of Botswana. Hey, before that tswana gontle. A re rutuntshe di talent tse di mo school sa rona. Before that itse go tswana gontle. So anga ka ra ba botswewa e sa mona go bela manifesto go ka tsana.
Ke le mo le gore go ha bona tlhaloganya ga ka mo university. Ya no. Ke ne ke bua gore we are going to find the sponsor. The can ye build ye tshwana le ya. Ke ga ye no gore ra ba rena le sponsor. Tse ta bo gore da sponsor. The sponsor ka khanya gore ke a ba di ke. E be ke tlhalosa gape gore I know and I'm aware of the university of Botswana ya re it had a sports, and it had this sports and recreation. Only 500,000, of which it is a little budget. Another budget of 6 billion. What people are counting to get 500,000. You can get you will this sponsor, Raho Akopara, Bandabaru to Sahala and Hali, Loro Barokana we to Sahala, Harokana we to Saka, Kaso Sanayaka transport. Whatever they meet us halfway.
So during intervals events, we are going to generate revenue from those certain club committees, and also on Kamajelo certain sponsors, so that host those certain events at the intervarsity, and also level those particular certain sporting codes sponsors per sport, but the better one they are going to add on to assist those intervals, because we are going to include all sporting codes for those events. Thank you.
Second last question from my side. GPH is expensive for any ordinary Botswana. How are 2,000 students, as mentioned, going to manage that? We have been deceived for the longest period of time with the issue of sponsorship. And if I may add on to that, we might say, oh, Magnote, Marina has its highs and lows. It has more lows than highs. We all know that. You go there and you spend 2 hours, 5 hours, more like me. How are you going to sort that? We have heard this conversation before as students. We've been students for 4 years on this. We've had this conversation about all the sponsorship for this and that. But how are you going to sort that? Am I too fast? I'm sorry, no. Okay, how are you as an incoming minister going to sort an issue? GPH is expensive for any ordinary Botswana. How are 2,000 students, as mentioned, going to manage that? We have been being deceived for the longest period of time with issues of sponsorship. What say you as an incoming minister for sports?
Many times, sponsorship. So I believe if we can get into things, then we make sure we engage and initiate those sponsors. So that's why we have a sponsor to campaign, to bring in those sponsors, to actively take them in. They can cover for those. They can cover for those expenses to cover for those rehabilitations. Thank you.
Okay. Jaga ne ke buile ka cultural festival se mo ya di kwentara tsa. Ke ha ele se kae? Cultural festival. Ha re dira jana ke le incoming minister of sports. E tla ka dilwana tse dintsi tse le gore re ka generate madi ka tsone re le ministry re direla sponsorship. Before re ka go kopa sponsorship go batho ba se le iso re rona re le ministry re kgone go direla le mmenyana ka di competition tse re ne re di dirile re sa le ba le ene moithuti jaaka e ne ke buile gore di create work opportunities, job opportunities for baithuti ba madikolo. So tse ke buang ke gore di competition tse ntla ke di swara ke le incoming minister of sports di tla botsone ka botsone di generate income e leng gore before ra go ba go ntle di sponsoring re tla bo ditse gore nyame re na le ha re kopelang teng e se re kopela mo le go ileng hela go sena re ra go sponsoring re sena le pula re kopa sponsorship no so re le rona re itirele pele before ra ka go kopa ya bete
or Doria isn't a candidate. How about? Oh, can I hear? We do one of us also what they were rare, le mola what they Rawan Habas, Lewa never GPH, Rana Habas, everywhere, Digar, Zawar, Ogana to Sayam, Rona, Ragabo to Sayam. Harare, re polai releve to even Harry Serre, Bara Walai, Lewaneka, La Cana Bay Polaica. Rawana Habas ever run a plan in the Mara will go to lay down all over it. At the end of the day, both the two parties that are going to benefit.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, candidates. It has been a pleasure having you answer our questions here today and the questions from the floor and from social media. I am Nele Mopasha.
I am Talita Mbaiwa, and we are from the UBPSS. Please stay tuned for the candidates bus student affairs in the next 10 minutes or so. Thank you. Closing statement. Closing statement in no more than 1 minute each.
Understood?
No more than 1 minute.
We did one very Mono Geoneo, Mono Gone. Yano, Talongana, leadership is not always about power. Leadership is about empowerment. Go and vote for Monaba Tuti, go and vote for me, not only for me, but for all the 13 seats that Monaba Tuti. Bagaiso, Aka.
Moithuti wa Madikolo. Senga wa seroke sa nge wa reng. Re tsenye botlhale mo pusong. Re ska ra tsenya motho yana wa ro pupu. Ke dumela gore seo ke se se tlwaelesegileng mo di-senior schoolong. O tlhopela motho gore o tletse mo Madikolo. A re tsenye motho yo o nang le skill mo pusong. Tsa mo go tlhopha UBCG, o tlhophe all the 13 seats. Re save Madikolo.
Baba so Kuito man na baba buka ka wathale me tota kisi kuito manifesto one anyway vote for SPF, vote for me as your incoming Minister of Sports, and I shall deliver to you. I shall deliver the 3 pillars we have promised, and also vote for other candidates by the 12 men. Give me the one for SPF. Thank you.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for the portfolio student affairs in the next 10 minutes.